Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where I apologize if this episode is a little bit late. I'm about half an hour late on getting started recording it, so depending on the resulting file size, it might be a little bit on the late side. We also need to tick forward, there's no doubt about that. Our mech warriors are pretty fatigued. We have a financial report due in 1 day, but we also need to do our repairs from that last mission. So let's get that done. First, let's repair our stalker here. We'll just max out that armor. Wonderful. The Stalker didn't take much in terms of damage. This Shadowhawk is something that we're definitely going to work on in a moment. This Vulcan, we're just going to hit the repair button. Actually, no, we're not. We need to put that armor back on as well. So we're just going to go in here. There was no major damage taken from the Vulcan. So we'll put the armor back on, do that little bit of internal damage repair, that's all fine. The Stealth also only needs a very minor amount of repairs, so we'll do a repair, max armor, and yeah, because of the ferrofibrous armor, we're going to have to manually put some extra armor in here. And I forget where we actually put all of that. I think in the frontal armor for sure, or rather in the torso armor for sure. Like so. And then we'll put the remaining tonnage here into the legs. Let's see here. Let's just take this up to, say, 70. Okay, and then we have 0.41 tons remaining. So let's just put these last couple over like that. That'll do. So we'll confirm that. Yep, that'll cost another 40k. The Panther will need a little bit of armor. That was not a word. The Panther will need a little bit of armor. There we go. Fantastic. Now the Hunchback is going to need quite a lot. We punched out, but not before this torso was taken out, as well as both arms. So in the right arm here, there was a large pulse laser, a clan large pulse laser. I'm not sure that we can replace that. What's the weight on that? That was a tonnage of 6. Compared to the IS tonnage of 7. Okay, I think given that, we might go for an ER large laser instead. That would give us the opportunity, it's more heat, but that would give us the opportunity to have an extra heat sink. So we'll put the ER large laser there. Now, the right torso here, this had a medium laser and an array of small lasers. I think we'll put in maybe a clan ER medium laser. That's 20 heat. I mean, I'd love to have these be ERs. What exactly is the difference here between clan and IS? So, clan does more damage, but also produces more heat. It's the only real difference? Okay. I mean, we can have a couple of ER medium lasers here, and then a couple of small lasers. Now, we're definitely going to have to mess with this. This is not the final scenario there. We're going to replace this cockpit here. Do we have a fire control system for the lasers here? That's the question. We've got some Artemis 4. But, no. No, we do not. Okay, so that'll have to remain as is. And then we'll replace this over here. Now, we could put a small laser or a laser AMS. We'll play around with that for now and see what we get. And then we could put, say, another medium laser Intech here. And then a medium laser here. Now that gives us 7 tons to work with, and we haven't replaced this heatsink yet, and we also haven't put on armor yet. And that's definitely something to consider. How many internal heatsinks, or rather free heatsinks, can we have? We have all of our free heatsinks. Okay. Do we have any regular heatsinks? We don't. So that definitely hurts. If we max our armor right now, that gives us about an extra ton remaining. In fact, we could just take off a little bit from, say, the CT here, and that gives us exactly 1 ton remaining. Now, I kind of hate this in terms of the heat efficiency. There's no doubt about that. The heat efficiency here is not good. I mean, if we had more small lasers, but we don't. We could have this mech focus a little bit more on the long range. It struggles with moving around. So that would mean removing basically all of this. We're not going to have the hard points filled out the way we did previously, I think. I think it's quite safe to say that. We could run PPCs. Let's see, the max range is 720 for the heavy versus 720 for the PPC. How much tonnage is that? That's 10 tons. We only have 7 available. We've got the ER large laser. The real major thing here, of course, is that this is a laser boat, right? This variant has to be a laser boat. So, that's definitely interesting. I mean, we could run double large pulse lasers, in theory, right? Actually, no, we couldn't, unless we dropped the laser AMS, which we may want to do. Now, it also bears noting that we're not running ferrofibrous armor. We could do that, and I believe we shall. We're also not running endosteel structure, and that's another thing that we could do here. This is expensive, but we expected this to be expensive. Okay, so that frees up some tonnage. And I mean, we could just go for some long-range indirect armor strip. That is a possibility by running a large pulse laser and an ER large laser, like that, and then perhaps another large laser out of the head. This is not heat efficient. We know this. We have no heat sinks to put on this. Otherwise, I would put heat sinks on. That said, we sink 45 heat, and we generate 28 with the large laser here. The pulse laser is 27 heat, and 36 heat from the ER large laser. So we could just avoid firing the ER large laser, and that would nearly put us down below the line and allow us to sink heat for a turn. Nearly, but not quite. We could ditch this large laser and instead put on, like, a pair of mediums for in-close fighting, or a pair of smalls. Like that. That would definitely be much more heat efficient. There's definitely no doubt about that. I really wish we had a couple heat sinks. I mean, we could buy a couple. They're so expensive. Okay. We'll buy a couple heat sinks in here. I really don't like how much that just cost. But we can toss in a pair of heat sinks like that. And like that. And then we have some tonnage remaining. 0.336 tons. We could, in theory, drop a small laser and upgrade that to a medium laser by dropping a small amount of armor. Perhaps something like... that would do the trick. Or maybe just drop these down to, say, 113 each. Would have to be 112 on this one. That would be, I guess, acceptable. That gives us what heat sinking? 57 heat. Okay. And we could have, say, a clan ER medium. Or just a regular ER medium for the heat purposes. Okay, and then we can just opt to not fire that one. Well, I don't like how much money we just spent on this, but it'll have to do. Actually, did I hit the repair all button? Now I did, for sure. We'll confirm that. That's a lot of money down the drain. Okay, Now for the Shadowhawk. What do we want to equip this with? Well, we're going to go ahead and repair everything here. We've got a single ballistic hardpoint and a single energy hardpoint. I'll be honest, I was hoping to replace our Panther with the Shadowhawk. We have no missile hardpoint. And we have by default 10 tons remaining. Actually, we'll ditch the AC5 ammo here. How many free heat sinks do we have? 1 free heat sink. Okay, this has primitive armor on it right now. We may want to slap in some ferrofibrous armor. And maybe some endosteel structure. Yeah, that frees up additional weight. If we max out our armor here, that gives us 13 tons to work with in terms of weaponry. Fine. This is a primitive engine right now. I don't want to put in an XL engine in this, I don't think. Engine core 245 right now. We'll put in a standard fusion engine, rather than that primitive engine. Okay. So that gives us 15.836 tons to work with. This thing is not going to be amazingly fast. The max sprint is 7 hexes. Yeah, that's not going to be great. We could, in theory, put on that thumper. But I think that's an objectively terrible idea. I think we'll leave the Panther as the thumper. We could maybe put in a light Gauss rifle. That would be 12 tons. Nope, that's too much tonnage. How about this LBX AC-10? That's 11 tons. Compared to 12 tons for a regular AC-10. Okay. We don't have an AC-5? That's awkward. I thought we had an AC-5. Well, we could put in something like a heavy PPC. We already removed the jump jets. I actually want this heatsink in the center core. Heavy PPC would be 10 tons. Okay. We could just put in a large laser. This thing is very limited in its hardpoints. That would give us about 10 tons for the ballistic weapon and ammo. I think a large laser is a decent option here. And then I'd love to put in an AC-5. That would be the ideal scenario here. Sadly, we don't have an AC-5. We may have to go with an AC-2. So we put in an AC-2. And then we can put in some AC-2 ammo. How many turns of ammo would this be? This is 30 shots. Okay, so 1 ton of AC-2 ammo is more than enough. I mean, we could put on a case. Component is not permitted. Okay, fair enough. I guess we won't put on a case. Now, we could put a laser AMS over here, and what do we do with the remaining 2 tons? Not have endosteel structure? And that's not an option. Actually, that is a slight option. We could then drop a little tonnage over here in terms of armor. Yeah, that's an option. I'm not going to say that that's a great option, but it's an option. And I think we're going to go with it. Like, I'm not super happy with this loadout, right? But it'll have to do. Okay, so let's manage our tasks here. And we're going to have the Hunchy be the top priority, followed by the Shadowhawk, followed by the Stealth, then the Vulcan, then the Stalker, then the Panther. Wonderful. So we're going to be repairing for a little while here. We've got our financial report coming up right now. And this is going to hurt a little bit. Rip money. Okay. So we'll accept that. And the question is, when are our mechs going to come online? Well, before the next financial report, I can tell you that. Okay, our mech warriors are returning to duty. High-capacity power conduits is complete. That's huge. The crew is bubbling with enthusiasm about a local cliff diving competition. In the morning briefing, Darius says Plato has requested permission to compete. Given the general interest, I'd like you to make the call. Sumire says, let him go. It'll be entertaining. Yang adds, you could send us, them, all, to cheer Plato on. It'd be a bonding experience. Sure. 25k C-bills? Ooh, that actually is quite a bit. I don't feel like we really need the morale bump right now. We kind of need the cash more. So we'll grant the shore leave to Plato. Okay, he's brave, but he's also injured. That's okay. It'll be a while before he's back in action, but it'll also be a while before our mechs are good to go. Okay, so we're going to tick forward here. Work on the Vulcan is complete. Work on the Panther is complete. Work on the Hunchy is complete. Fantastic. Darius opens the morning briefing with a scowl on his face. We picked up new supplies a few weeks ago, and we're just now opening some of the crates of machine tools, and, well, I can't believe this has happened again, but Yang practically explodes from his chair. We have more frozen Triple F burger meat. Do you know how hard this stuff is to come by in the periphery? Dr. Murad sighs audibly. Please tell me that the refrigeration was still operational. I don't want a repeat of the last time. Don't worry, Doc. My team will take care of the goods. Yang flashes you a winning smile. What do you say, Commander? Burgers on the menu? I mean, why not? Morale increased by 5, plus 1 tech point boost for 7 days. Too bad we didn't get that a week ago. Okay. So it's time to deploy. We absolutely need to deploy here. We cannot tick forward anymore. We have 12 days on the financial report, and I wanted to go to the command center, not the store. Come on in. Recovery in the lowlands? This is decent salvage. This would be pretty cheap salvage, too. Yeah, 50k. We're absolutely going full salvage here. Okay, so are we going to deploy the Shadowhawk? I think this is a low difficulty mission. I think we'll deploy the Shadowhawk just to feel it out and feel how fast it moves. Like, this is a really basic loadout that we have for it right now, right? But I just want to see how it feels. I did not mean to go back there. Okay, we're going to deploy with the Shadowhawk. Everything else should be good to go. So let's see what we run into. This is a recovery mission in the lowlands, which of course means it's pretty much a battle, and then we'll just run to the base after. We'll see what we're up against, though. That is the real question here. But the real thing that I want to evaluate with the Shadowhawk is how well it keeps up. Is it more Hunchy level, or is it more Vulcan level in terms of its speed? And I think it's going to be closer to Hunchy level, but this is just something I kind of have to feel out. So we need to retrieve Liao's double-crossing scientist and escape. A scientist for a Capellan conglomerate has turned industrial spy for a rival corporation from the locals. She was privy to numerous industrial secrets that we would prefer not to fall into our competitors' hands. The local government leadership has offered to sell her back, but we intend to use the false hope of negotiations to buy you time to extract the scientist through more proactive means. I think I've lost track of how many layers of betrayal this represents. Is this a quadruple cross? This must be some scientist. Indeed.
Command interface initiated.
So it looks like we don't have any allies. That's fine. Okay, that's the target zone there. The Hunchy moves there.
On the move.
The Vulcan moves there. The Stealth moves there.
Let's move.
The Stalker moves there.
Roger.
The Shadowhawk is actually moving pretty good.
On it.
Okay, good to know. The Hunchy will step up, and there's a contact. We see a helicopter and a Hollander. Okay, that Gauss rifle is going to be a potential issue. We're definitely going to want to have as many evasive pips as possible right now, And we are going to go after that Hollander ASAP.
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. We see a second attack helicopter. That's not a big deal. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
We're going to cruise up with our stealth. We're going to sprint forward. We're looking for that extra evasive pip. We do see a Vulcan over there. I did not realize he was facing like this. We should have moved over here. We could have potentially backstabbed him. This is not the side with the Gauss rifle either. Okay.
Time to unload.
This is not the Hollander moving. This is a scout helicopter. Fires on the Vulcan. Doesn't do a whole lot just yet. It is going to move here, Ace Pilot. Okay. We're going to move up with the Shadowhawk. We're going to move up to right here. We're going to come in same flank on this Hollander. Hit odds are a little on the low side, but we'll give it a go. We hit with the large laser. We'll take that.
Yeah.
The Vulcan is going to sprint over here. And this is rear arc. Okay. Let's give this a go.
Fire at all weapons.
And now the Hollander moves. This is where it's dangerous. Interesting choice. That's not very relevant at all.
Barely hit, Commander. Yep.
We're going to cruise forward with the Stalker here.
On the move.
Get ourselves 2 evasive pips. And we're going to attack this Hollander weak side. Did we hit anything on the back? Actually, we did.
Locked on.
There was some internal damage there.
Inflicted some heavy damage.
Fantastic.
Order.
Okay, the Hunchy is also going to cruise forward here.
Let's move.
And we're going to continue. Actually, our hit odds are so much better on that Sprint Scout helicopter. In before we backstab our friend here. Wait, did we not backstab? Wow. I'm actually shocked.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, the Shadowhawk is definitely keeping up pretty well. We're going to come in over here and keep hitting this Hollander weak side. It's the leg that we got internal damage in. Okay. The large laser hit, the AC-2 did not. The Hollander moves now. Okay. The Gauss missed. That's the important thing.
Good to go.
Okay, the stealth cruises forward here. And actually, here's the thing.
On the move. Full speed.
We are going to eliminate this helicopter. There we go. Fantastic.
One for the scrap heap.
Okay, now we're going to move forward with the Vulcan. Up over here.
Full speed, no shooting. Got it.
And I'd like to go for the Hollander yet again. This is front arc, but that's okay.
Everything I've got.
Did we manage to narc it there? Upper arm destruction.
Inflicted some heavy
Something. Yeah, it is narked. Fantastic.
damage. Commander.
We're going to come forward with the Hunchy.
On it.
The question is, what are our hit odds like? Surprisingly good. We don't fire the ER medium laser, definitely.
On it.
Okay, 26 damage. We'll take that. Wonderful. We'll see what this helicopter's plan is. Firing on the stealth, doing 10 damage. It's fine.
Reporting. Minimal damage.
Yes, indeed.
Standing by.
We're going to come forward with the Stalker here. And we are going to continue to light up the Hollander.
Engaging target.
Okay. I was hoping for a leg destruction there, but no such luck. Vulcan moves in. That's fine. It does 3 damage. We don't care. Okay. The stealth is now going to sprint its way over this way and eliminate this helicopter.
Copy that.
I really thought that would kill. Okay. Okay. The Gauss rifle missed. Again. That's the important thing.
Yes, Commander.
We can jump in like this with the Vulcan. And that's definitely what we're going to do. This is the strong side of the Hollander, but also the side with the Gauss.
I know you're gonna like this.
Okay. Decent damage there.
Receiving you.
The Shadow Hawk is going to sprint in along this arc
Definitely.
and look to take out that Gauss rifle,
Roger that.
but we fully missed. I do not like the loadout of that Shadow Hawk. We do know that it moves reasonably quickly, but the hard points aren't great on it. We may want to make it into a thumper boat. That may be the best plan. Okay, the helicopter is attacking the Shadow Hawk. That is irrelevant. It did no damage. And we took out 2 with AMS as well.
Good to go.
Okay, the Hunchy is going to stay put here and continue to pour fire into the Hollander.
Copy that.
That was very solid.
That's a hit.
I'm quite pleased with that, actually.
Ready for orders.
The Stalker is going to step forward. And this is going to do some solid damage to the Hollander.
Target confirmed.
Kaboom. 1 dead Hollander.
I hope we can solve
That's exactly what we were looking for right there. I kind of hope we can salvage that too, but I'd be surprised. Okay, the Vulcan melees our Shadow Hawk. That's a little bold.
Armor holding.
And it is now our turn. The Shadow Hawk is just going to step in directly behind the Vulcan here. The AC-2 isn't very good at this range, but that's okay.
Tango. Taking the top.
Fantastic.
Standing by.
We're going to move in with the stealth, and the job of the stealth here is to finish off this helicopter once and for all. There's no way it survives.
Reporting. Enemy
Wonderful.
vehicle eliminated.
Something I can do.
And our Vulcan is now going to jump behind their Vulcan. Light him up rear arc. That was not great considering our hit odds. It's the Vulcan's turn now. An interesting choice.
Damage is light.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, we're going to close in with the Stalker here.
On my way.
And we're going to fire on him. This is his weak arc.
Firing on target.
That was a lot of damage.
Critical hit.
Fantastic.
Yes, Commander.
Okay, the Hunchy is going to also hit this same arc.
Firing.
Okay, that's damage right into that CT. And the pilot ejected. Fantastic. Let's finish this up. Yep,
Location confirmed. Coordinates.
in we go.
Got it.
All targets eliminated. Let's get out of here. So what do we get for salvage? That's the question. We didn't take any internal damage, so we can just accept Yang's repair estimate. That's no big deal. And we definitely learned that I'm not a fan of this Shadowhawk loadout. I'm not surprised by this. We're going to grab that Hollander part for sure. And probably this Gauss rifle. Engine Core 240. And Engine Core 110. Excellent. We got 4 Vulcan parts out of that too. Fascinating. We don't need this machine gun. Or this cockpit basic. We already have an Engine Core 080. We don't have an Engine Core 110. And we do have an engine core 240, so that's some cash. Wonderful. We'll keep those around, but we're going to sell these for sure. LRM ammo, we have 7 of those and 6 SRM ammo. We're going to keep those for now. Okay. Well, that definitely made us some money. And it is about time to put a cut in here, so I'm just going to accept Yang's estimate and do the outro. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I'll see you all next time after we accept Yang's estimate when he gets around to giving it to us. How much is this going to set us back? Okay, 10k, 2 days, do it, Yang. Wonderful. I'll see you all next time.